What if I told you that the fat you hate the most is not actually caused by eating too much, skipping cardio, or even being lazy, but by stress, and not the kind of stress you think? I'm talking about visceral fat, the deep, dangerous fat that wraps around your organs, pushes your belly forward, wrecks your hormones, and silently increases your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and early aging. The crazy part is this: most people are dieting in a way that actually increases this fat instead of burning it. Today, I'm going to show you the exact diet strategy that can take visceral fat to near zero in just 30 days. Not by starving yourself, not by extreme workouts, but by lowering cortisol, your stress hormone, at the root. If you stay until the end, you'll understand why some people eat more and still get leaner, while others eat less and their belly never goes away. Now listen carefully, because visceral fat is not the same as normal body fat. You can look skinny and still have a lot of visceral fat. You can even have abs and still be unhealthy inside. Visceral fat responds more to hormones than calories. And the number one hormone that controls it is cortisol. Cortisol is released when your body feels threatened. That threat can be mental stress, emotional stress, physical stress, or even chemical stress from food. When cortisol stays high for too long, your body goes into survival mode. It starts storing fat around your organs to protect you. This is why people call it a stress belly or cortisol belly. And this is also why cutting calories aggressively, skipping meals, or doing too much cardio can actually make it worse. Most diets fail because they focus only on eating less. But to lose visceral fat, you need to eat smarter in a way that tells your nervous system that you are safe. When your body feels safe, cortisol drops. When cortisol drops, visceral fat becomes accessible and starts burning fast. This is why some people suddenly lose inches from their waist without even trying harder. Let me break something important right now. If you're constantly hungry, tired, irritable, craving sugar at night, or waking up feeling stressed, your cortisol is already high. And if your cortisol is high, your body will fight you every step of the way when you try to lose belly fat. So the goal of this 30-day diet is not to punish your body, it's to calm it down. The first thing you need to understand is that blood sugar stability is everything. Every time your blood sugar spikes and crashes, cortisol rises. Highly processed carbs, sugar, white flour, sweet drinks, and even constant snacking keep your insulin and cortisol on a roller coaster. That roller coaster is one of the biggest drivers of visceral fat. So instead of removing carbs completely, which also spikes cortisol, you need to choose carbs that stabilize blood sugar. Whole foods are non-negotiable here. Think of food that looks like it came from nature, not a factory. When you eat whole foods, digestion slows down, glucose enters the bloodstream gradually, and your stress hormones stay low. This alone can flatten your belly within weeks. Protein is your foundation, not extreme amounts, but consistent, high-quality protein with every main meal. Protein lowers cortisol, keeps you full, and protects muscle while your body burns fat. When you skip protein, your body senses scarcity and raises stress hormones. Eggs, fish, chicken, lean meat, yogurt, lentils, and legumes all work. The key is consistency, not perfection. Now let's talk about fat, because this is where most people mess up. Healthy fats are not the enemy. In fact, they are essential for lowering cortisol. Your hormones are made from fat. When you go ultra low fat, your body panics. Adding healthy fats sends a signal of abundance. Olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish all help calm your nervous system. Just don't combine large amounts of fat with sugar, because that combination is what creates inflammation. One of the biggest cortisol triggers is skipping meals for the wrong reasons. Intermittent fasting can be powerful, but only if your body is ready for it. If you're already stressed, fasting too aggressively can increase cortisol and slow visceral fat loss. In the first 2 weeks, the focus should be regular meals at consistent times. This teaches your body that food is predictable. Once cortisol drops, fat loss accelerates naturally. Late night eating is another hidden issue. Eating heavy meals late at night disrupts sleep, raises cortisol the next day, and increases visceral fat storage. Try to finish your last meal at least 3 hours before sleep. This alone can dramatically change your waistline. Now, here's something nobody talks about: chemical stress from food. Artificial sweeteners, ultra-processed oils, preservatives, and excessive caffeine all increase cortisol. You might think diet soda helps because it has 0 calories, but your nervous system doesn't care about calories. It reacts to chemicals as stressors. Reducing these can bring visible results within days. Hydration is also critical. Even mild dehydration raises cortisol. Most people walk around dehydrated without realizing it. Start your day with water, drink consistently, and don't rely only on thirst as a signal. When your body has enough water, metabolism runs smoother, and stress hormones stay lower. Let's talk about what a typical day could look like on this diet, not as a rigid plan, but as a rhythm. You wake up and instead of rushing into caffeine on an empty stomach, you hydrate first. Then you eat a balanced meal with protein, fiber, and some healthy fat. This immediately tells your body that it doesn't need to be in survival mode. Midday, you eat again, not because you're starving, but because you're supporting your system. At night, you keep it lighter, focusing on easy to digest foods that support sleep. Sleep is where visceral fat loss accelerates. Poor sleep raises cortisol more than almost anything else. Eating in a way that supports deep sleep is one of the fastest ways to flatten your belly. Magnesium rich foods, stable blood sugar, and not going to bed hungry all help here. Now, I want to address exercise briefly because diet alone won't fix cortisol if you're overtraining. Long, intense cardio every day is not the answer for visceral fat. Walking, strength training, and short bursts of intensity work better because they don't keep cortisol elevated for hours. Think calm consistency, not punishment. By week one, most people notice less bloating. Their stomach feels flatter, digestion improves, and cravings decrease. That's cortisol starting to drop. By week two, waist measurements start changing, clothes fit differently, energy levels stabilize. By week 3 and 4, visceral fat reduction becomes visible, especially around the lower belly and sides. The biggest mistake you can make during these 30 days is trying to rush the process. Stressing about results literally increases cortisol and slows fat loss. You have to trust the process. The body responds incredibly fast when it feels safe. Remember, your body doesn't store visceral fat because it hates you. It stores it because it's trying to protect you. Once you remove the stress signals and provide the right nutrition, it lets go. If you've tried everything and your belly fat never moved, it was never about willpower. It was about hormones. Lower cortisol, and your body will do the rest. Stick to this approach for 30 days. Eat real food. Balance your meals. Stop punishing yourself. Support sleep. Reduce chemical stress. And watch what happens not just to your body, but to your mood, energy, and confidence. If this video helped you understand visceral fat in a new way, make sure you like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who's struggling with stubborn belly fat. And comment below if you want a full day-by-day meal plan next, because I'll make it for you. Your body wants to heal, you just have to give it the right signals.